Hey, brothers and sisters, you are listening to Busy for the Lord podcast. Today I want to play a portion of Joe Rogan's podcast where he has on a guest named Chad Wright. Now, if you don't know who Chad Wright is, he is a former Navy SEAL, and his testimony is actually quite remarkable. Right now, as the interview is posted, it's almost up to 400,000 views. So lots of people are tuning into this particular episode. What I find compelling, it's about a 3-hour long interview. But what I find compelling about this particular interview with Chad Wright is how he describes coming to Jesus Christ. He literally explains the gospel, explains his testimony in a way that I think is really relatable. I think a lot of people will be able to be provoked to think about what it means to follow Christ. You know, as far as big platforms, Joe Rogan has a huge platform, one of the biggest platforms. But as far as big platforms and having an opportunity to share the gospel, Dr. John MacArthur has done probably the best job in being very clear about what it means to accept Christ. If you watch any of his past interviews on Larry King Live, he has used that platform to essentially nail it when it comes to the gospel. There hasn't been anybody since Dr. John MacArthur that I've seen using a large platform to be so clear and distinct about what it means to be saved, other than what I saw today in the former Navy SEAL Chad Wright. So what I want to do today is I want to play a portion of that podcast. Again, the podcast is 3 hours long, but I'm only going to play the portion of it where he goes to describe his testimony and how he came to Christ. Now, I posted the link to the podcast on my Substack, and I had someone comment and say that, you know, Joe Rogan has heard the gospel. He's not going to hear it anymore. Well, that might be true, and Joe is most likely in the discovery phase where he's still searching. He's still asking questions. I feel as long as there's breath in someone's lungs, then we need to continue to share the gospel, because sometimes people have to hear the gospel multiple times and in different ways. But even if Joe rejects the gospel, he has millions and millions of people that listen to his podcast. And so we need to be praying that God touches the people that listen to this podcast, that they really are pricked to the heart.